In this video, I really want to talk about how to fish behind yourself. Now, this might sound a little bit weird, but we're here in the month of August and it's really hot this time of the year. And what you see a lot in the month of August is that you will fish, huge stretches of bank or huge stretches of offshore structure, and you will not catch a fish. But then you will find these little areas. Maybe it's a little stretch of bank. Maybe it's a single brush pile, a single point. Maybe it's something that actually is holding a number of bass. But typically, those bass can be very hard to get to bite. But in order to maximize that area and to really catch everything that's in that area, you have to learn how to fish behind yourself. And in this video, that's what we're going to talk about. Now, before we get into it, this video is brought to you by my apparel company, Finn Fishing. I have decided to run a sale for the month of August, starting now until the end of August, which is if you buy any of the USA made sun shirts, I'm not actually wearing one right at the moment, but you will get a free Tri-Blend t-shirt. This one right here, this American Bass t-shirt, it's one that's been very popular. And right now, if you buy a sun shirt, you get this 100% free. So it's a very comfortable t-shirt. All you got to do is add the sun shirt in the size that you like to cart, add the t-shirt, the size of t-shirt that you like to cart. It will automatically discount at checkout. And as you guys know, shopping at Finn Fishing is truly one of the best ways to help support this channel. I will leave some links down below in the description. All right, let's talk about fishing behind yourself. And like I said, I think that this is important right now in the month of August and in September, but this can really apply no matter what time of the year that it is. And really, to me, this is all about maximizing an area, really catching everything that is in that area. Now, if you are a tournament fisherman, this can mean the difference between weighing in a limit or weighing in some big fish or nothing. Or if you're just out there fun fishing or a recreational angler, maybe you're a bank angler, this can just make the difference between a good day and a great day. And so in this video, I want to talk about a few things. Now, the reason that I wanted to talk about this is because I just put up a video over on my BassFishingHQ channel where I broke down a body of water up in New York. Now, what I found during that day is that I would find kind of these small sections in the grass that I would go through. I would get a couple of bites, but then I would end up going back through and getting even more bites. And I would go back through and get even more bites. And the only reason that I would kind of get more bites, one, I was fishing slower, and two, I would change baits a lot. And this is what I really want to talk about in this video. When you go through an area, maybe it's, like I said, a stretch of bank. What I was fishing up in New York was a stretch of grass that was underwater, and I could visibly see the grass with my own eyes. It's milfoil. It grew up from 12 foot of water all the way to the top. And I was simply flipping and pitching it. Now, the first time I went through this particular stretch, I caught one fish that weighed 3.7 pounds. So it was a bigger than average fish for the lake that I was fishing. And I had one other bite. But with it being a bigger than average fish, we kind of talked about this the other day. I really wanted to go back through that area. But in order to go and fish the exact same stretch that I literally just fished 40 minutes ago, I have to be intentional about the way that I do this, or else I won't typically catch more fish. And what I mean by that is that a lot of us anglers, when we approach maybe an underwater point, maybe a stretch of bank, there's always a way that we like to go as anglers. Maybe it's you like to cast off of one side of the boat, you like to hit certain angles, and you as an angler, you're always going to see kind of the same stuff that looks good in your mind. So the first thing that I highly suggest when you go to fish behind yourself is simply go the opposite way. If you worked a stretch of bank from left to right, go from right to left. Like, this is a very simple change, but it can really help you to pick up a couple of extra fish. And the biggest reason is, think about it. If you're fishing a dock or you're fishing a laydown, you kind of hit that one particular section, but then when you go past it, you're kind of looking ahead at the next target that you're going to fish. So sometimes you don't always even hit the backside of things. Now, if you're going from the opposite direction, those are those areas, the backside of things, where you're going to now target. And so really you can fish down one way and then go completely the opposite way and be making completely different casts, which can really help you to maximize the fish that are in your area. As a matter of fact, it could potentially double the fish that are in your area simply by casting the same bait but at different angles and on the back side of things. So always, always, always switch up the angle of approach. Something that I like to do with my tournament partner is that when we are in a boat together, say we caught, you know, a number of fish in one general area, we will typically have the other guy actually, like say I'm on the front of the boat and I'm like, I caught all the fish in this one area. I will a lot of times be like, hey dude, you take it. You take it, because he is simply going to go about things a little bit differently. And because he does that, he's going to be casting at fish that maybe I didn't cast at the first time. So switching up angles, also switching up anglers if you're in a tournament situation can really help you. The next big thing is all about your bait choice. And this is humongous. Simply make a change in the bait that you're fishing. On this particular day that I was just talking about in New York, I not only did I switch up the angles, but I also switched up the color of bait that I was fishing. And I would say that I did this by choice, but honestly, I did it because I ran out. I was using green pumpkin, well, kind of a green pumpkinish color, and I ran out. I decided to go back with black and blue because that's what I had in the boat, and I ended up catching a lot of fish. Sometimes there are bass out there that are going to respond to green pumpkin or black and blue, but maybe not both. So it's important that you switch up your bait. The other really big thing that I think is even more important, especially if you're using like soft plastic baits like a Texas rig or using a jig, is use a bait that has a better or a bigger or a bigger weight or a smaller weight, which is going to have a faster follow rate or a slower follow rate. This is very, very important. On this particular stretch, I had fished through it 4 times, switching up my baits, I think 3 different times in those 4 times. I ended up coming back to the exact same stretch a couple of hours later, and I'm like, man, I've kind of used all my baits, and really I couldn't throw a whole lot of other lures in this particular grass because of the way that it grew. It's not like I could throw a chatterbait or anything like that through it. So I decided to use a bigger weight. Instead of using the 1/2 ounce weight that I had been going with, I switched up to a 3/4 ounce weight. So I was going to have that bait fall faster, and that change actually yielded the biggest bass of the day, which was over 5 pounds in the exact same spot that I had fished 4 times in the course of one day. So little changes, bait changes, weight changes, angle changes, these are all really big things that we can do to maximize small areas, which is really important in months like this, the month of August. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Also, don't forget to check out that fin fishing gear, and I will see you guys tomorrow.